Good evening, everyone. I am Gayatri and I work as an associate software engineer at Torrey Harris Integration Solutions. Today we have with us Pravina, who is a technical lead at Torrey Harris. She is all things automation and she brings over 10 years of rich experience in automating different parts of transformation initiatives. For the past 5 years, she has been productizing functionality to build tools and solution accelerators to speed up hybrid integration initiative. So now let's hear it from Pravina herself. Over to you, Pravina.
Thank you, Gayatri. So, as we all know, the world is shifting to the cloud. That shift won't happen overnight. For a foreseeable future, data and processes will exist on local servers in private clouds and public clouds and anywhere in between. So we know that the transition from on-premises to cloud can be very expensive, laborious, a year-long process. So most companies will tackle this in a phased approach, which means they will be operating in a hybrid world for a foreseeable future. However, they can't afford to wait until all the transition is done to make sure that all their data is connected and accessible by all their applications. So here integration plays a big role. So we would be talking about hybrid integration. So through this session, I would be running on introduction to hybrid integration platform. How is it in the current scenario and reference architecture of it? How is API managed in HIP? Security considerations, operations and maintenance. Who are the top HIP vendors? Analyst forecast and a conclusion of it. So let's see an use case and how this could be done. So when we see an use case where a bank would like to expand the bank's market by reaching out to the wider audience by deploying it cloud applications and yeah, exposing their APIs to a new interactive channels. For that, what they would require to do is to unlock the values of the bank's business assets by deploying fine set of APIs that would expose their enterprise capabilities and processes that would accelerate the banking transactions and improve the customer experiences. So here is a picture that illustrates how it would be done. So let's see that one of the customer would access one of the cloud applications that is deployed via a web browser. So in between there is edge services which processes the request and routes it to the right direction. In the sense to the right destination, and then the user is validated through an identity and access management. Then his requests is received in the cloud applications and it will be processed for the further requests that would be occurring. So here an interactive API components will receive the request and that would determine which services it has to be invoked to give it back to the customer. So based on that request, the cloud integration service component will access the specific enterprise applications. So the cloud messaging allows the processes of events and triggers the cloud applications, cloud services, and based on that on the on-premises enterprise applications as well. The secure transformation and connectivity component here in between ensures requests are authorized to access the enterprise components. So the entire enterprise application that is on premises and the data components here processes those requests and the responses are sent back from the enterprise applications to the cloud gateways and to the cloud applications. Here the cloud applications prepares and returns back the response back to the user. So based on this and to achieve this, digitization plays a main role, and they have to transform their entire IT landscape by spreading their entire systems across the private cloud, the public cloud, and on-premises locations. So here hybrid integration will be the initial and the crucial step. Integrating data and applications across the entire landscape will help us to streamline all of the processes and deliver a lasting business outcomes. Hybrid integration standardizes the connections between each of these endpoints to give the organization a more robust and effective IT infrastructures. So starting with that, choosing a right hybrid integration platform strategy helps to accomplish this. So what is hybrid integration platform? It is a set of interaction and integration softwares that helps people connect, maintain and govern the integrating business applications, whether it is on premises or cloud, as well as composing all the APIs, incorporating its lifecycle management and catering to any kind of integration use cases. Hybrid integration platforms ensures the business critical data from on-premises systems to integrate with the cloud applications data. And it also supports hybrid deployment where you choose which integration piece to run in the cloud, on premises, or in combination, or as per your business needs. The hybrid in HIP describes the essential coexistence of legacy and modern integration technologies as part of the digital transformation. For that, we see here how is the legacy applications and what is its counterpart modern technologies here. So on your left hand side, you see the yellow boxes, which are the traditional integration tools and which are at least a decade old, and the blue boxes are the modern tools and frameworks that are the building blocks for transforming the integrations, so that integration in turn is fit for purpose as an enabler for the wider digitalization. So why is HIP important in the current scenario? Because many organizations want to become an extended enterprises in itself. What does it mean? To become an extended enterprises means the number of integration points will proliferate. This is for various reasons. First of all, more parties will be involved in a single transaction. Third parties need to consume services through APIs. Applications across different kinds of infrastructure, such as the public cloud, private data centers, and so on, and on premises, and integration must make this seamless integration, and this would gain the benefits. Defining characteristic of digital companies is that they are data driven, which means being able to pull and analyze data from across the organization. Based on these few points, we'll see how it is very important. Like this, because of the rise of the hybrid clouds, now organizations are trying to leverage the cloud for operational innovations and efficiencies, revenue and business model innovations, application modernization, cost effectiveness, high availability, agility. So these are the points, and for them to respond faster to the community. For this, major of the processing systems will be moved to cloud. As a result, applications, data, and we have to process the integrations. These all should be able to support both cloud-based applications and on-premises systems. And the next point would be disconnected silos of data in cloud and on premises. Due to the rise of the hybrid cloud deployments and more adaptability to the cloud, especially SaaS, are resulting in this disconnected silos of data and fragmentation of the processes. And we see that the data is scattered across the on-premises and clouds. So here integration will play a major role, where it can extract the data from different systems and in different environments also. And what it does is data transfer happens between similar pools of different systems, thus breaking out the data silos. And then rise of the because of the Internet of Things, organizations need to connect to things such as automobiles, sensors, wearables, planes, etc. Organizations are focused on leveraging IoT as a driver of incremental revenue streams based on new products and services. They also need to improve productivity and save costs, reduce the operational overhead, and optimize operational efficiencies. Because of this, data is generated from various sources, and these all need to be integrated, transformed, and syndicated to various systems to derive and have an appropriate insight and to make real-time decisions. Then is the rise of the digital ecosystems and API economy, where the business or organizations would like to blur out the traditional boundaries by entering into the new markets and new industries. And to promote their businesses in a more innovative way, they are focusing on innovating digital abilities such as mobile enablement for employees, location and navigation, leveraging new digital channels, and to enhance customer experiences. And they are expanding into new markets, and also expansion is done into online marketing efforts, also taking into the digital field operations. Has this adoption of cloud increases, the data will not be inside the organization, it exits outside the organization's firewalls also. These also have to be managed and controlled, and so that the devices can be operated, and the devices can be used anywhere, and can be accessed. So next is to ability to support the self-service integration or citizen integrator capabilities, where organization would embrace digitalization. There is a need for agility, dynamic integration, user interface, and customer experience capabilities also. So this is the as a result, we have to enable it to do it yourself integration for LOBs, while allowing the establishments also teams also to integrate and to deliver heavy duty and systematic integration. Based on these points, setting up a hybrid integration model and migration services, we have a reference diagram that you can see. What we do here is, we can see that the legacy integration components such as the enterprise service bus and web services, along with modern integration components such as the containers, microservices, and API gateway, are there. And along with that, on the right side, you can see the DevOps has an element that cuts across many blocks, plus API management and a digital ecosystem, which is the key driver for creating the HIP. The HIP facilitates the transition to an extended enterprises, and we know that any two enterprise landscape will not be identical. So each has to design a model of what they want and how to use a migration services to get a best out of the HIP, and to have to have most effective and efficient way. So this is just a referential architecture, and and we know that there are many hybrid integration platforms, and they differ in different number of ways. But what Gartner suggests, that whatever HIP you are implementing has to have 4 dimensions. That would be the personas, domains, deployments, and endpoints. What does persona say? People accomplishing integrations. Domains, multiple integration patterns across the domains, that would be the cloud, on premises, private, or hybrid. Deployments, the same way, it can be on cloud and on premises. Endpoints mean it has to integrate endpoints from on premises devices to the cloud, to mobile devices, and even to the IoT devices. So how is API management done here? In HIP, APIs are the means of integration. So they are an artifact to support the integration and a means to manage diverse integration patterns in the HIP. And it also have more of the API management, it is a API integration. It has to have connectors, orchestration, and it has to knit together the applications. And API here management also should work in concert with new data integration solutions. That would be the iPaaS, ISaaS solutions, IBPM, as well as specific cloud platform solutions. And along with that, it has to have to integrate with legacy stack as well. And it has to address all both the integration to the on-premises and cloud endpoints, and it plays a very central point here. And how is security considered? Security in hybrid integration revolves around the capability of providing seamless, secure data flow between the cloud endpoints and to the on-premises data centers. Here, hybrid integration platform will be able to take advantages of many standard gateway services and network security capabilities provided by the cloud providers, such as security gateway services, TLS tunneling, and VPN services. And it has to address all the three things below, that is the integrity, threat management, and compliance. Integrity, it has to ensure both the cloud and enterprise data is not tampered. Threat management, to maintain cloud components up to time despite the security threats and all. Compliance, it has to address any industry and regulatory compliance. And along with that, it has to have a capability to for identity and access management, that is capability to identify and authorize the users based on the roles and access to give them to the cloud applications or to the on-premises. And a complete life cycle of the user management has to be done along with the auditing also. And based on the user types and based on the levels, we need to give access to the cloud applications, and they have to be managed. This could be access given to users such as business users, IT users, and then how about the data and application protection? Here, capabilities that help identify vulnerabilities and prevent attacks targeting sensitive data. So it has to provide protection to cloud components against any malicious threats. It has to monitor and give access only to the privileged users to the sensitive data. Firewalls in the public network component tiers help protect the network levels for the flow of application data. Security intelligence capabilities to monitor the cloud components for security breaches to provide visibility. It provides actionable intelligence to detect and defend against threats using the event and log analysis that feeds to a cooperated incident management system. Security and security management applies across the life cycle, that is design, development, deployment, and ongoing maintenance. And on the operations and maintenance side, HIP has to give an ability to see each component of the entire ecosystem, means the enterprises as well as cloud, and the enterprises can easily identify the potential vulnerabilities, preventing the future threat breaches and making the risk management strategies more effective. And monitoring alerting solutions are designed in such a way that it can to analyze the infrastructure and performance in a meaningful way for IT departments to ensure all production systems are running at optimum speed and capacity and are in good health. And it should also give alerts into any channels, that is including Slack, Teams, emails, SMSs, and it should have encrypted end-to-end communication channels to be established via SSL or TSL protocols. And it should also have real-time transaction monitoring and visualization. So the top HIP vendors in the market are from IBM, Oracle, Software AG, Informatica, and this is the list. Based on this, what the analysts say, Foster has assessed the state of the strategic HIP market and has evaluated how the vendors stack up against each other based on the strength and weaknesses of the platforms that they have provided. And Gartner has predicted that by 2022, at least 65% of the large organization would have implemented a HIP to power their digital transformation. Know that moving towards HIP is a future without a question, because this hybrid integration platform provides integration, migration services in various forms such as application integration, data integration, B2B integration, cloud integration, managed file transfer, big data integration, IoT integration, and many others. Based on the use case that you have seen, if they want to implement this and do it, they would get best out of the cloud and on-premises setup, and the capabilities that are there, and they could also provide a high-speed applications for their customers, and doing this, they'll not only access the business logic that has been unlocked in their legacy system, but also do an innovative market. They would be facing it, and so new customers and would be able to attract them. And HIP also helps in leveraging the existing investment while reducing the operational cost of the organization. So that is about HIP. Thank you.